guys just heard Automaton with Age of the Smokestack. Right before that, local band Praise the Sinner with Carol. And I'm going to kill the background music because tonight we got two of the guys from 10 Stories. Jonathan Mark with us. Guys, how's it going?
Great.
And we got Mike hanging out with us from Behind the Gray. Woo.
I have my own fan base right there.
So it is 10 stories, not 11 stories, right?
Yeah.
That was my mistake last week.
Technically,
as fast
it's
as
4
Will
stories,
told me. As fast as Will told me, I fucking wrote it down wrong. 11 stories.
We blame Steve Smongehits for that.
Oh, God. So, guys, I guess give us a little history on 10 Stories, man. How did it all start?
Well, 10 Stories was originally, it wasn't even supposed to be really much of a band. It was me and our guitarist, Ryan Grenadaria. Well, I'm Jonathan, by the way. Pleasure listening in here. But we started this project. It was just me and him just jamming out in his basement. And I went to high school here with Mark Naples next to me here. And he was interested in coming to play with us, and we would love to have him on some tracks that we were just running just because we just wanted to see how it'd sound. So eventually it ended up just adding on from there and ended up picking up our singer Carl. And from there we just got our bassist Eric, and we put out our EP in, was it last August or?
Yeah, something like that. I think it was right before we all went off to college.
Yeah,
stuff,
just a 4-track EP, and we just wanted to see how it would come out, and the support has been unbelievable, and just everything about it is just working its way through like a puzzle. It's truly unbelievable. And special help from Behind the Gray and Mike and everyone here tonight, especially for that. We really appreciate all the support, truly.
You guys are doing the hard work. I'm just here to point you in directions.
Well, it's certainly helping out a lot, but I mean,
I gotta say, these guys were here last week, and all they did was mention you guys. You know, you're killer band and whatnot. And I said, you know what, that's good enough for me.
Yeah.
And you guys dig them, you guys like them. That's good enough for me. Let's get them on.
Sweet.
And
here we are today.
Here we are, yeah, man, yeah.
It's something, and that's how amazing how it works. I mean, because we would never thought it just started out as just jamming out in a basement, and it just came out to this, and it's just working its way right up wherever the hell it'll go. So we're loving every second of it, though. It's a privilege to be here today.
I remember.
Thanks, man. Cool. Are you kidding? And this is what I always say. We were talking a little bit off air about rock star DJs and whatnot.
Not even going there. Just
well, and how some DJs feel as though you guys should be deserving of being on their show. I kind of like to take the opposite approach, and I always jokingly call it the trifecta. It's the bands that send me the music, it's the station that airs my show, and it's the people that are tuned in. Without those three, man, I'm just a moron sitting in a room talking to myself, So thank you guys, man. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Well, absolutely, and just thank you for all the listeners just coming out and grabbing an ear and just listening to our show today. Because I hope you guys are having as much fun as we are today.
Killer, man. So tell us the history behind the name 10 Stories.
Well, 10 Stories is actually, we got it from a band called the Dopamines, and it was one of the songs. It was just me and Ryan and his girlfriend, and we were just hanging out, and we were listening to the iPod. It just came up on shuffle, and one of the songs just happened to be called 10 Stories, and it just had a really good ring to it, honestly. So right after that, just picked up, and it caught on just as well. So we figured we'd just name the project that, and now it's a band. That's how it is.
Killer.
It's easy as that.
Sometimes it's that easy.
It was something, because we were just, at the time, we were just putting in a lot of thought, and it was just too much thought almost, because it was just, you're just overthinking it, And when we saw it on the iPod, it just flowed, and when it flows, it goes. So
yeah,
you don't want a band name to be forced.
No.
The music makes the band name. You can have a great story as to why. I mean, we had our reasons behind why we named the band Behind the Gray, but regardless of how and why you name your band, whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, you can legitimately name your band D, and if you're a phenomenal band, that's what people are going to remember.
Yeah,
and
Absolutely, and that's what makes it count, is just the sound of it, and just the sound of 10 Stories right now is, I guess, good. So
People like it.
yeah, absolutely though.
Cool, man. Cool. So, the songwriting. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Okay.
Would you guys say it's a group effort? Is it a one-person effort? How do you guys go about writing the tunes?
It's,
Yeah, I mean, if you want to talk about it for a bit, especially with Mark. Mark's the main guitar guy along with Ryan. Because the chemistry between Mark and Ryan is what really drives the start of it. Because they build the foundation of it, and me and Carl, our chemistry with lyrics. Me and Carl like to share the responsibility with lyrics and the composure along with Ryan on a few things. But it's a very involved process. It really is, and we really like to sit down and we just like to make sure everything's nice and tight. And so that everyone that's playing it is happy with it, because we're going to be playing it for, of course, our listeners and for future shows and stuff. But the writing process I write the lyrics, and you got Mark Tremonti over here.
well, a lot of the time it's like, either Ryan and I will bring a riff to the table or something, and then we'll just expand on that. Like Jonathan will get behind the kit and he'll start drumming to it. And sometimes we'll just improvise something after that, and we'll like how it sounds, and we'll work on it until we have like sort of a finished product. And then I always refer to Jonathan as the Neil Peart, because he not only does he play the drums and he's so good behind the kit, but he constantly, like, he'll have lyrics for you in minutes with songs. It's just insane.
Guitars and
yeah,
I do contribute to guitar writing and just the general composition of it. But it's the cherry top is with Eric and Carl, the bassist and our singer. And when Eric brings it, because we've come from, Carl and Eric are really just starting off in the music industry. I mean, they've been playing their whole lives and singing, but they've never truly experienced shows like me and Ryan have been together for many years. And the different feels that we bring to the table, from just the genres that we listen to, all the inspiration, it all combines into one, almost as if it's like a band that everyone just wanted to listen to since the soundtracks in 2004 when you just played on your PS2. So that's really where we focus around that, and we just hope that whatever we're working our asses off for, it definitely appeals to everyone else.
Killer guys. So now you guys just released an EP?
It came out in August, and it's available on SoundCloud. But we are currently working on an album, our debut album, and we are naming it Without Reason.
Yep.
It's going to be a 12-track. We're up working with Joe Loftus at JL Studios.
Okay, yeah.
Great guy, yeah.
And all of him,
Awesome.
He's absolutely unbelievable working with us, and just giving us good pointers, and really, really making this project, this album, a good piece of art. And hopefully everyone listening will definitely be able to pick it up when it's coming out and enjoy it as much as we are right now, because we love it. And it's so much fun being together and doing what we love, you know.
That's cool. I mean, we talk a lot about chemistry on the show, man.
It's very important.
Yeah. Well, tell us a little about the chemistry in the band, guys.
Well, Ryan and I, the two guitar players, we always seem to be like on the same exact page when it comes to like our writing styles and stuff. And like he'll come up with something and he'll hit like writer's block, and I'll just right off the bat have something for it. And then it doesn't matter who comes up with what. Yeah. It's one of Ryan's riffs, one of my riffs, something like that, and then we have a finished song or something. And
sometimes the songs that we have, they come out as zombies, and there's like 10 different pieces of each portion of what we write together. But the chemistry flow is unbelievable, because, like I said, they'd be playing something, and then I could sit down, and because we've had the same interests in music as younger kids, I could pick up what they're reading in their heads immediately, and I'll put it down, and I'll just see how they feel it, and we just mess with the feel of the song. We've slower, faster, punchy, and that's where it starts. And then, of course, when Carl and Eric show up, it comes all together, because Eric brings his rock side into it, and he really he puts the bass and just the backbone into it, and then Carl just blows it out of the water. Carl's lyrics and the amount of time and focus he puts into what he does with his craft is truly remarkable, and that's what makes the creative writing process as good as it is. And it's a 5-person job, and it flows, and it just works. Apparently, it works.
That's what people say.
I gotta ask you a question because I know I do it. Is there ever any times where, like, Mark will come in with something and you'll, like, it'll be like a super crazy riff, and like you'll deliberately mess with it a little bit just to see how he reacts to it?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, we actually had to cut one of the songs on our album.
Yeah.
Because it just sounded too damn close to one of the songs that we had on our EP for the same progression. So we were busting Mark's chops about that for a bit. So you're definitely not the only one in that boat, Mike, I'll tell you.
Yeah.
And it's funny when it happens because it's just been the running joke, and it just keeps on piling on this poor kid.
I didn't even realize I did it.
Bust his chops.
I read a chorus and they start singing one of the other songs to it, and it flowed really well, and I'm like, what? And they're like, that sounds exactly like one of the songs off our EP, and I'm like, no, it doesn't. And I didn't hear it until they started singing it, and I'm like, oh no. So we had to cut it. We're like, okay.
Yeah, but that stuff does happen, but that's why there's five good heads on their shoulders, and just we work it out, and we see where we could bring each of our perspectives in it, make sure that doesn't happen.
Right.
So yeah, you're definitely not the only one, Mike, I'll tell you.
I just have fun messing with Will.
Yeah.
Will come in, he's like, I got an entire song. I'm like, nah, not today, you don't. Go ahead, play it. And he's like, I want, really drive. I'm like, nope.
Oh, yeah, what?
I'm going to put some slow-ass drums behind this, and I'm going to drop the BPMs about 15.
Oh, what's the song that whenever we go into it, you start doing smooth jazz on the drums?
Oh, yeah, I'll throw the curveballs at them like that, especially, and it definitely throws off. Eric and Carl go at it all the time. They're hysterical. They bust each other's balls all the time. Yeah. Well, Carl will be singing Linkin Park, and then Ryan will be playing, like, some ridiculous, like, Limp Bizkit song, and then everyone just goes crazy, but, like, I'll throw, like, smooth jazz into, like, our song On You Go, and they'll have no idea what the hell hit them. They'll just be like, what the...
Because it's supposed to just kick in all at once, and when it kicks in and, there's heavy guitars and there's smooth jazz drums behind it, you're like, wait, what?
Centerfold was supposed to be just a straight, like, fast-paced, and as soon as I started playing that laid-back stuff, Will was so angry, but he was so happy.
Yeah. Well, it's a curveball, because nobody's expecting it. That's the power of the drums, man. Changes the whole song.
I do it deliberately.
Yeah.
He's like, I got this. I'm like, no, you don't.
Killer. Guys, how would you describe your sound to the people?
Just punch you in the face, man. Honestly, well, at least this album, the EP was really, it definitely brought in together our, what do you call them? The
influences?
Yes. Yeah, I'm sorry. But it definitely, you could definitely hear the influences within our EP, but with this album that we just came out, that we're working on, there isn't a track that isn't diverse, and it matches every ear. It completely accommodates the rock side, the metal side, matches it all together into one perfect 10 Stories sound. And I think that when you listen to 10 Stories, just think power, man. Power all the way through, and it'll get you going, it'll get you uplifting, it'll make you happy listening to it. I think you'll definitely enjoy it.
I honestly don't think anyone's going to pick up the album and go, oh, this sounds like so-and-so. Like, I honestly think we really sculpted our own sound on this album.
Well, it's unique because
it's something new.
We grew up with Breaking Ben. We grew up with all those old 1998, 99. We're younger, so... But... I apologize.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Hey, guys, listen.
I just put my hand on my face and shook my hand there for a little bit. Then I looked over and realized Billy was...
Yeah.
I was like, I'm just gonna let it go.
Dude.
I didn't want to turn into that.
I'm an 80s baby. I grew up in the 80s, man. All that hairspray and spandex.
But you know what? But we did too, because that's the music that lasts.
Yeah.
And we'd love to make the same impression. That's what I'm saying. And those influences, like I said, with our sound, just when you come to see a show, when you come to listen to our music, get ready to get pumped up, get ready to have a good time, and it's just there, and the atmosphere is fun, it's comfortable. We're not there to hurt anybody.
Nah.
So,
well, we're not going to see any hairspray or spandex.
No.
Actually,
you never know what you're going to get.
I'm definitely doing that for the next show.
Mike and spandex.
Yeah. I don't think we'd
There
fit.
we go.
Somebody just have bail money. I'm probably going to get arrested for indecent exposure.
Oh yeah.
Nobody should be forced to see that.
You could get away with it back then, yeah.
Oh, Jesus. Guys, let's play a tune.
Absolutely.
All right, sounds great.
Love for
How
you to
about
hear it.
I Will Go On?
Oh, that's a great one.
Tell us about the song.
Well, that song is actually it. Me and Ryan worked on that song. It was actually that song came 4 years old because we were in a previous band with a few of our friends, and that song was one of the B-sides that we had. And when we were going through the writing process to just get it all together, because a band just kind of popped out of nowhere. Now we have a group and nothing to do. When we heard the B-side, it's a song that definitely caught our ear, and we wanted to try it out. And when it came out as good as it did, we were just absolutely pleased with how it came out. The thing that was different about that song was Ryan wrote the lyrics on it, and at that time he was really he was going through a lot, and there's a lot of people telling him how to live his life and direction and that. And, you know, he just had enough. So, and we were just messing around with tuning, so we played that song in A.
Yeah, it was drop A.
Which is our lowest tuning, and that's way low. Our standard tuning is A sharp and C.
Oh, yeah, we live in drop A.
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what it drives that song so well, and that's why we mess with those kinds of tunings to fit the song. And so we called it "I Will Move On," and I hope you guys like to listen to it. I hope you guys will find it interesting as we do.
Okay, now is it I Will Move On or I Will Go On?
I will move on.
I will. Okay, because I got I Will Go On here.
Oh, that's all right.
All right. So it's I Will Move On.
Yes.
All right. Well, gang, check it out. I Will Move On from 10 Stories, and we'll be right back. right, gang, we're back with Jonathan and Mark from 10 Stories. Mike from Behind the Gray hanging out with us tonight. Guys, killer song, man.
Thank you so much.
Honestly, yeah. And you know what? While I'm thinking about it, and while you guys are talking, I'm going to re-tag this.
Yeah. We appreciate it.
My baby memory, you know.
Well, that's all right.
I'll forget.
It's all right. It's all good, yeah. But I mean, what you just heard was "I Will Move On" our EP. And that song itself was a creative disaster because it was just so much together at once, and it was such an old B-side that we worked on it, and it's just straight punch in your face, and we just hope you liked it as much as we did when we were recording it. And like I said, you can check us out on SoundCloud, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, anywhere you like. All of our social media is there. Feel free to come give us a like.
Do you have a Snapchat?
We don't have a Snapchat. We are not that amusing, I promise you.
Well, what about a MySpace?
MySpace? I deleted my MySpace in 07, but...
MySpace is coming back. Well, it's actually really good for bands.
Really?
Because they're not going to,
that's also
make you pay for posts. And
True.
I haven't been on it in a while, but I'm pretty sure we have one. I mean, anything you can get on, and even if you, like I said, Snapchat... I'm the only one linked to it. You might get one update in like 6 months, and it's usually like Dan sleeping on top of Steve or something like that. It's hey, we have 5 minutes. Let's
do something. Yeah.
And now that Facebook lets you like live stream, I don't even have to use it. So
that's amazing. We wanted to try and start doing that now, but recently at a show we had at the other side down in Wilkes-Barre, we had a professional videographer. Come in, a good friend of Ryan's, of course. His name is Elliot, and shout out to him for being such an awesome sport throughout the whole process. But he came in and he actually did our live show, and it looks phenomenal. Just got to get some audio fixed up and stuff. But we like to post that stuff, of course. Once you guys, all the listeners I hear that are with us today, that are out there, hopefully come and check us out on, like I said, Facebook and that, and hopefully you'll find some live video of us. If you guys are some ways across the vast ocean there, but it's worth it. Give it a look,
man. So now, are any of these songs from the EP going to be on the new CD?
We decided to keep it just totally straight new stuff. We wanted to just show you guys what 10 Stories is made of and push ourselves to the limit and not give you guys any old stuff. We want all new, all fresh, and ready to go.
Yeah.
Cool, guys. Cool.
Absolutely.
So now, a little bit about yourselves, guys. Jonathan, we'll start with you, man.
Yeah.
When did you first pick up the sticks, man? When did you know that this is what you wanted to do?
Okay, well, it started, I was exposed. My family's been supportive throughout my entire life with music, but since I was 2, I had my baby Grant, and I messed around on that. That was the start of it all, but I never truly took lessons. I just was so fascinated with the sounds, just the passion in music and all the hard work that goes into it, that I listened to variety music and music I shouldn't have been listening to at the time when I was younger. But when I was, and it was 2006 or 7, I can't quite remember honestly, but I took piano lessons for 5 years. It was actually the first instrument I learned, and that was the only instrument I took lessons for. And then after I got bored of just playing piano, I really, really loved the drums. I loved how much you could do on the drums, and I didn't like always playing the same stuff over and over like you had to do with piano sometimes. So I knew that a drum would be a big variety switch, and it would definitely be worth it. My cousins got me into it as well. Since he was a drummer, I just envied how good he was at the time. But of course, I'm better now. But no, I'm just joking. But I picked up the drums, and I actually taught myself. I'm still teaching myself after 4 years of playing.
That's never going to end.
Yeah,
I'm on 17 years, and I'm still teaching myself random things. So
I don't plan on stopping ever. I'd like to make that my daily job, of course. And then, of course, I'm teaching myself guitar. I've taught myself guitar, a decent amount of guitar, enough to write the music that you're listening to today from 10 Stories, and bass. And then now I'm really interested in the cello. I'd like to move to cello because I'm a string guy. I can't do any woodwinds. I envy those people, though. Stick with it. It's fun. But and that's really
Jansen.
Yeah, man.
But I play all those different kinds of instruments, and it contributes to the writing process. But that's where it all started, and it's with the drums. I just stuck with that the most out of all of them because it was just something you could never truly stop. You just keep on evolving, keep on going. Sometimes you just get so good at piano that you max it out, like, because you can't be Beethoven or anything, but you could definitely max it out. Drums, you just keep on going. There's never a limit, and that's what I just like doing. I just like learning new stuff every day, just going about it.
Cool, man. Mark, man, how about you, man? When did you pick up the guitar?
I picked it up first when I was about 10 years old, because I was always like in the car with my mom listening to like rock and metal music and stuff.
His mom is awesome, by the way.
Thank you so much.
She tells me about
Shout out to Marcy.
She tells me about Pantera and stuff when I see her. It's awesome.
Yeah, she's the one that got me into like those big metal acts. So like she turned me on to Megadeth and like Alice in Chains and stuff. Still huge influences, top favorite bands. And I would always hear like Jerry Cantrell on the radio, and I just loved his playing, and I just wanted to pick up the electric guitar. And finally, for Christmas, I was about to turn 11. I was still 10 at the time, though. She got me this horrible first act guitar with the one pickup that was like, it wasn't even a pickup, it was like rounded, and there were like 19 frets on it, and I'm looking at it and I'm like, ooh boy, an electric guitar, because I couldn't tell the difference at the time.
Did it have the built-in speaker?
Oh no, I wish.
Awesome.
Those things are sweet.
I wish I had one of those, so they're the best. Keep going, Mark. Sorry I interrupted.
Oh no, you're fine, man. So so I mean, it was this horrible little guitar, but I mean, and it came with this amp that was God knows how many watts, but you could practically clip it on your belt loop. It was so small. And
it was probably a 5-watter.
Yeah, probably. And you could talk over the top of the thing. It was so quiet. So, but yeah, and I begged her for lessons and everything, and I'm like, please, get me started on lessons, because it's such a hard thing to really pick up yourself. So that's why I don't know how John did it, But she got me started on lessons, and I took lessons for about 2 or 3 years, and then I decided I wasn't really learning as much as I thought I should. So I stopped taking lessons, and I branched off and like basically learned from like books and the internet and stuff, and I've just been trying to evolve my sound ever since.
He's ridiculous.
I am not ridiculous.
That's one advantage I think that everybody has now. Like
the internet is it's a huge
you can
tool.
learn anything on the internet. Like you can legitimately, like even some of the drummers that I know in the area that are like ridiculous. Like one Chris Langan, he does Grant Williams solo stuff. He does country acts. He does he was just in Tennessee for CMT Fest.
Oh wow!
With the one act that he plays with, but I mean, like he teaches and he's like, once or twice a day, like I'll go on and I have a subscription to this thing, and it's legitimately they just get like some random huge today might be Tommy Lee and tomorrow might be Joey Jordison, and it's just like they're going to do a regiment today and they're going to show you something that they do. And he'll go on and he'll watch every single one, and then he'll incorporate that into something new that he's teaching his students today. We didn't have that stuff.
No.
It was
it's unbelievable. There's so many outlets, so many different varieties of what you're looking for. There's always something out there. That's what I've been doing now since my cousin has stopped drumming. He was my main influence, of course, and me singing in the choir, and that I played the bongos and just the different percussion for them as well at my old school. But now he's telling me to do all this stuff online, and that's where it all is. It's literally, you don't have to buy another book because they'll just step you through it, and they do such a good job. And it's just a learning process, and it's just too damn fun doing it. It's just there's always something new. There's something amazing out there. I'm still working with it, but.
Yeah, it's as simple as typing, how to into the Google search bar, and there it is, within seconds.
I learned how to reset the sensors in my car the other day.
Honest to God.
Thanks, YouTube.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, right?
You'll have to teach me that because I'm trying to learn that too.
How to turn off this sensor in whatever brand car you have and put the year in, and
it's there.
Yeah.
That's no shit.
I learned how to reset all of the power everything in my car in like 3 minutes.
It sounds scary.
Like,
I'd be so afraid.
yeah, power windows, like power seats. It was like, oh, here, do this, and then you do this. Oh, the sensor's gone away. Okay, so now you got to do this. But now everything works again.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
All right, that just saved me $100 having to go to a dealership to have them do something I just watched in 3 minutes. And
Oh, yeah.
And then you have the Space Odyssey come up on your stereo. I can't help you. Come out. Scare the shit out of me. That's my luck that'll happen. Yeah, I'm not too technologically inclined, but I try.
Neither am I. Trust me. That's why I went to YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just wanted my power windows back.
Right? Guys, so who would you say are your personal musical influences? You spoke of your cousin, but who else, man?
My favorite drummer, the guy that I would love to idolize. There's so many. You got Mike here too, which is
Don't lie.
pretty crazy.
It's not me.
But no. But even him, it's just the main guy that I'd turn to if there was somebody that I would put my kind of style onto. I love Danny Carey from Tool.
Yeah.
He is flawless, but I also a lot of the underrated, the underestimated drummers. Like there's the drummer from Let Live. The stuff he does is unbelievable. There's the drummer from Shadows Fall. I grew up with Shadows Fall, listening to them, and the stuff that he does still blows my mind. Some of the stuff I can't, but that's where I come from. That's who I've idolized. Besides my personal preferences, like Mike and my cousin, and other just phenomenal drummers in the area. Just following different people, seeing all different kinds of styles, and just being open minded to it. But yeah, definitely Danny Carey and drummer from Shadows Fall, just all those legendary. People are like Buddy Rich and all that stuff, but as damn good as he was, I'll tell you, it wasn't enough. I think that there's a little bit more.
Right.
Even though he's like the best.
You're one of the few people that have answered that similar to me, actually. Because when I get asked, like people are like, oh, well, what about this class? I'm like, I
that and then Mike's his own biggest influence too, right?
Yeah. I influence myself to not take that shot before the set. And,
You got to be your own biggest fan.
but I mean, most of mine were like local based, like people who pushed me into music and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then you have people like Joey Jordison and stuff like that. And, now hearing what's going on with him and why he had to leave Slipknot and stuff like
That's
that.
a shame.
But I mean, I listen to that style of music. Like I completely respect all of the
Oh yeah, all the great past the legends.
Right.
But were they an influence to me playing drums? No. They were influenced to the influences of me. But I have the utmost respect for all of them. But to say, this guy is the reason, no, in no way, shape, or form is that it. I can name one name right now that is the reason that I started playing drums, and he played for a cover band. It wasn't like it was some crazy guy doing, ridiculous metal stuff. It was legitimately just a family friend who I had the opportunity to help out when he was doing his cover band at like fairs and stuff. And it was, hey, you can carry this stuff upstairs. Really, I can. That's awesome. And now I don't want to carry my own stuff.
Yeah.
So I understand completely why he let me carry all this stuff.
Yeah, that's all it really takes. I mean, that's why I like music so much. It's just the amount of influence and power that could be laying behind that. You'll never know who's the next best thing. And just those little moments, those precious tiny moments, like carrying a snare up the stairs and probably falling down the stairs in the process. That's what I did, at least. But especially when my cousin moved his drums into my house. But yeah, that's just how it is, and it's just those little differences that make the biggest difference in other people's lives, and that's just how it started. That's who I am.
Cool. Mark, how about you, man?
Well, when I started taking lessons and stuff, my guitar teacher was a big blues guy, blues and jazz, so obviously I started off listening to a lot of that, and as I had mentioned earlier, my first concert was seeing Jeff Beck, which was mind-blowing, and
Right.
guy really plays with a lot of emotion and everything. So I started off learning, the basics from blues, and it really helped develop like my bends and vibratos and stuff on the instrument. And from there, I moved basically straight into metal and stuff, because I still had those influences like Jerry Cantrell from Alice in Chains and Dave Mustaine from Megadeth. And so I started playing with like a faster approach and, just kind of trying to play scales with like blistering speed and stuff. And then I found Jeff Loomis, and, he got me started on sweep picking, and it was just such a neat technique, I guess you could say, on the instrument.
Yeah.
And so ever since then, I moved on to like jazz fusion and stuff, and great players like
No, I'm just joking. That's a running joke.
like Guthrie Govan and stuff. He's just a monster player. So yeah, I basically just keep my mind open to anything.
Cool. Let's I know we've talked about it a little bit on the show, but influences and the older dudes back in the day. I guess a lot of people say Randy Rhoads. Dude's phenomenal.
Oh, yeah.
He is phenomenal. There's a lot of guitarists that are way better than he is now,
Oh, yeah.
but he influenced them, and then they built upon
Exactly.
what he did. There's a lot of guys out there that paved the way.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter how good you are. There's always going to be somebody tomorrow's going to show you up. That anybody in their right mind that thinks they're great or the best, I guarantee you by tomorrow somebody's going to be playing something better than you, and you don't have enough time in the day to stay the best person in the world.
No.
Just be the best you can be, man.
Yeah, I mean, just do you and be worried about you. Like, I argue with people constantly when it comes to things like that, especially about my playing. It is what it is. You have your opinion, I have my opinion.
Right.
Do I know there's a million drummers out there better than me? Yes. Am I worried about it? Not really, because I have my style, I do my thing, they do their thing, and that's what it is,
It's just a diversity of it from all different angles. There's always someone different, someone better, someone worse. Doesn't matter. It's you that counts. That's really
Right.
it.
There's an old joke, and it says, how many guitars does it take to play a song? 10. 1 to play the song, and 9 to say, I can do that better.
It's so true.
Did you hear the one about the bassist? There's none.
No.
Oh, bassist jokes. Gotta love 'em.
Yeah, right.
Basses get a bad rap.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Get a bad.
I'm sorry. I forgot. You're Steve in 20 years.
My ginger spirit kindred brother there. Oh, that hurt. I gotta explain this.
I love you, Billy.
So we're at the first benefit we threw for Behind the Grate. They smashed their trailer. They had a bad accident. So we're at the benefit. We're all hanging out, and then halfway through the show, Steve's like, "Oh man, this is what I'm going to look like in 20 years." I was like, "Oh man, be nice. Say 15." But it turned out it really is 20 years, and I was like, "Oh man!" And and honest to God, I could pull up a picture from 20 years ago, and it's me.
That's it.
Wow.
It's me.
It's a small world, man. You never know. That's something, though. I haven't met my clone yet, but when I do, I have to get a photo, most certainly.
Oh, yeah.
I hope.
And I played bass too.
I hope. I hope for other people's sake that there's not another me out there somewhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think that I'm just a handful of my own. So definitely don't want.
If there is, I apologize.
Yeah.
Somewhere out there,
I'm
somebody's doing horrible, dumb things out there. No. You know what I'm talking about. You'll get the story later.
That's funny this week. It was funny last, but it's funnier this week. Oh my God. Guys, when you're not writing, rehearsing, playing gigs, doing band stuff, what do you guys do for time off, man, Jonathan.
Well, I am, as we talked about earlier, I am actually at Kutztown University for education. That was another passion of mine, but the real passion, there's no real degree for helping people, and that's just what I like to do. And music's another gigantic outlet for that. But yeah, when I'm not playing music, when I'm not with my 5 best friends playing what I love. 4, yeah. Wow.
Yeah. You probably should have stuck with 4 on that one because I mean, you can't even blame like a timing signature on that.
Yeah, I was never good at math, so I apologize. But yeah, no, I
Good thing you're not going to be a math teacher.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but no, I am involved. I do a ton of volunteering. I just like to help my community. I'm with the Boy Scouts. I'm an Eagle Scout, and I'm also assistant scoutmaster to help out these younger guys to work their way up. And I just love to just be with my friends, make every moment count because I'm 20 and I have no worries yet. So
cool. Well, we were talking a little bit before the show about it being a small world. You want to explain that?
Oh, absolutely. Well, it's just like, well, how do I go about explaining it? You know, how do I explain that? You know, it's just when I came in today, we were talking about autism awareness. I'm going to be a special education teacher, and of course, I've grown up with working with disability my whole life, and it just so happens that our friend with us, Tim, has autism as well, and it's honestly a privilege to sit there in the same territory here and just get another perspective in on that. But that's what I like to do, you know, and it's truly something.
Well, I guess what now you worked during the summer, and my son Timmy, was one of the people
kids
there.
Well, that was yours, and I guess my brother was in the same, and that's the amazing part of it, and even with music. Replying back to that, you never know who you'll meet out there that just shares that close connection with you, and it just makes this whole experience today so much more relaxing and comfortable because we came in here never knowing what to expect. Like I said, this is a huge privilege, and for all the listeners that are listening out there, thank you so much for tuning in. But as I said, it's just a small world, and you never know what to expect out there, man.
Well, and speaking of never knowing what to expect, every now and then he pops in.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, come on in.
So we might get a visit from Timmy.
Hey, why not?
Mark, how about you, man?
If I said that, I didn't spend my spare time playing more guitar, I'd be lying to you. But I mean, I practice a bunch of hours a day. There's usually not a point where I don't have my guitar in my hands.
He sleeps with it.
I have done that before. I have fallen asleep playing guitar. I won't lie to you.
I've fallen asleep at the kit like once.
I haven't gotten there yet, but
I have a back on my seat, so I just kind of sit back and I'm like,
nap time.
Let's close my eyes for 10 minutes and go. 3 hours later.
Yeah.
Now, I haven't played in a while, but back in the day, I remember playing for like hours and getting the grooves, the dirty grooves in your fingertips.
I'm at the point now where every once in a while I'll test it and I'll take like a kitchen knife and just poke the tip of my finger, and like it doesn't matter how hard I drive it, I can't break skin. My calluses are so bad on the tips of my fingers. It's crazy.
Somehow he still does what he does, which I give him and Ryan and Eric credit, especially Eric and Mark too. I mean, Ryan's the one that plays like bridge cables on his guitar.
Oh God, yeah.
And he set me up with a pair of those myself. So when I play my guitar, my fingers are like bleeding. So it's always a good time. But no, these guys, props to you guys, bass, guitar, unbelievable work with that stuff because my fingers are just too short and stubby, and I just can't handle that. So
well, now I props to you guys, Jonathan, Mark, man. I can't hold a beat for more than a couple bars. I look like a freaking octopus on ecstasy back there.
That's how I look when I play. Well, live most of the time.
Well, and it's funny too because I do backing vocals, and people tell me that I just look like a giraffe up there because I have to stretch my neck out to get the microphone.
No, I got a headset for you.
Oh, good.
We'll give you the Britney Spears headset.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, I take that. I wanted that.
I used to use it. I used to be in a death metal band, and I used to do backing vocals and main vocals, and I just got tired of like chasing mics around.
Yeah.
And they used to deliberately mess with me. They used to come back, and now I always controlled like things back by me either way, with like stuff in between songs and stuff like that. But I'd be like doing a part, and a guitarist would come and deliberately like elbow the thing. So I'd be like trying to maneuver and
Man.
play the song, you know.
Oh no.
Good thing that these guys don't mess with me that bad. Because honestly, God, I'd probably break my neck in the process of doing that. Some of the mics I chase are like 4 feet out, and I don't even know. Sometimes I end up just yelling. It's whatever. But it comes out all right. It sounds good, I promise. But back to Mark, though.
Guys, let's play another song, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
How
absolutely.
about Where Damned Men Walk?
Yes.
Tell us about the tune.
Well, Where Damned Men Walk was an interesting. Mark was the one that wrote that one, so
Yeah.
he could tell you more about the composition of it. But I wrote the lyrics. I wrote the lyrics based around a story I read, and it's about a guy that ends up actually committing suicide. And it was a darker theme at the time, but when it was about a gentleman that had took his own life and was able to subconsciously like see the outcome of this happening, and it was almost as if he was in his own bad dream, where he ended up not having a hard time getting into heaven, having those doubts even after death. So it's almost as if ending his life, his demons were still chasing him from behind, and that's where that song truly came out of. And a lot of people have mixed feelings about that, because that's such a hard topic to discuss sometimes, and just the lyrics behind that are very interesting, and it definitely conflicts with different beliefs and stuff. But I was just inspired, and I decided to write those lyrics around that, and that's just how it came out. And we just decided to do it old style. We have two harmonies. Me and Ryan do the harmonies behind Carl's vocals, and we just wanted to keep it metal.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we did.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, the main riff actually started as like kind of a build up to a breakdown, and then Ryan had pointed out, he's like, well, why don't we use that riff as like kind of a main riff, like something to go back to as like a bridge between choruses and verses. And I'm like, all right, let's try it out.
Which goes back to chemistry.
Yeah, and a lot of that song is actually improvised. I just went into kind of an open, just like galloping, picking thing, and then from there we went into the verse, and I said, hey Ryan, for this, like, why don't you go down to the 1st fret and I'll come up to the 4th fret, and we'll get like, you know, that minor third interval, that really evil sounding thing. So we tried that, and it turned out as evil as I expected. And from then on, I mean, Ryan and I just kind of wrote like this really bright chorus to kind of lighten the mood a little bit of the song.
Like you said, keeping it metal.
Yeah.
Keep it metal, man.
Yeah, nice.
I love it.
All right, gang, check it out. Where Damned Men Walk, from 10 stories, not 11 stories, 10 stories.
Hope you like it.
We'll be right back. right, gang, we're back with Jonathan and Mark and Mike. Mike's not in 10 Stories.
I mean, I could be. I play in a mean triangle.
No, but, well, Mike, I mean, we were talking a little bit offline here about helping out the new guys, and it's really cool what you guys are doing for 10 Stories, man. So, kudos to you, man. That's really cool.
Not a problem. Like I said, they're a great new band, We have opportunity, playing with them, and once we're back, I guarantee you're going to see many, many, many more shows with them, There was, I actually was joking around with Mark's mother about it, Initially, when we played our first show, I was talking to her, and she's like, I'm very, very upfront about certain things. Like, if I know we're not going to play with the band ever again, I'm not going to say, oh, hey, I'll be in contact about, whatever. And, it was just one of those things. She's like, well, you're not blowing smoke. I'm like, no, I dig this band. Like, I like this band. Like, I want them to play more shows with us, They're talented, they're evolving. And they have a phenomenal all-ages fan base, Once they're now lucky enough to have, the other side doing all-ages shows. Because you're stuck, once you hit a certain point, you're stuck in bars. Plain and simple, And then you have to hit a certain point where if you're stuck in the bar scene, you have to start, no matter how good your originals are, no matter how many people know your originals, you have to start throwing covers in.
Yep.
We just did this benefit for Eric last week. We played 22 songs, and 10 of them were originals. But you know what? If it takes playing one original and then 2 covers, and that song you guys played before, Taproot, what was that? Oh, that was one of ours. Check it out. It's on our album. It's just little things like that it will help to, have somebody pushing you like that. And like I said, if I or anybody in my band didn't think you guys were talented, and have potential, you wouldn't get what you get. There's plenty of bands out there that I could, send emails out for, hey, can I get these guys on the show? I mean, fuck, we brought you guys up last week,
Yeah.
We
and
had.
You know what? And I didn't even hear your music. They were just talking about this. And that was good enough for me, coming from these guys,
I appreciate it. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, and it's just the support. The support's the biggest thing, and it just means the whole entire world to us, especially our fans, because we do have a younger crowd, and they're just so dedicated. They'll come out every show, no matter what, rain or shine. And of course, we'll get our older fans, of course, that loved us when we played with Behind the Gray, that loved us when we played with the Demon Rum. All those other guys out there that have been just so friendly, so supportive.
I love the Demon Rum.
Yeah, they're awesome.
Yeah, they're great guys.
Zach came in for the benefit and did bodies with us.
Oh, nice.
It was so much fun.
Yeah, and it's just stuff like that, those little things, But honestly, it's such the biggest difference without the help from these guys, without the support from our fans, from everyone, from you, all you people over there listening to Keep It Metal Radio. This wouldn't be possible. It really wouldn't, and it wouldn't be just as smooth and amazing and as much as a privilege as it is right now. And that means the world to us. Thank you.
That's
Definitely.
cool. That's cool.
That's for real.
So, guys, you've only been playing out short time now.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple months.
We've been out. We've been playing for about, we got back from. Well, we do have school, but we'd like to get rid of that option and hopefully pursue some music. But we've been out for about
luck.
Yeah,
it's rough.
We work 40 to 60 hours a week on top of practice 3 days a week on top of travel and 2 days a week. Get used to not sleeping.
Yeah,
that's fun.
Naps are necessary. I think Will got like an hour and a half napping after the benefit, and then he had to be at work.
Oh God! Like I said,
if you're gonna do it and you want to do it right, You're not going to sleep a lot.
No.
No.
You're going to be, you're going to be sore. You're going to.
Well, I'm excited for
I'm
all
ready
that.
for it,
I,
yeah.
you know what? I think as much as hard as that says it, and that's why I give credit to you guys for finding the time to support a young band like this, finding the time to have this kind of amazing program, this amazing show, in those small few hours that you do have, and you give it to other people. That is truly selfless.
Nah,
You don't
for
need
real.
sleep.
nah.
Yeah, it's for the weak.
I'll sleep when I'm dead.
Yeah.
It might be in like 3 years, but
And I always, again, I always throw the thanks back to you guys. Again, it's the bands, it's the stations, it's the fans. Without those three, I'm just, again, a moron sitting here talking to myself. So, thank you guys. Really, thank you. You have any memorable moments so far as a band?
Well, oh man. Well, just
Getting
I-
invited to play our first show, but
I can name one for you guys. It wasn't necessarily one of you two, but it was Ryan. Ryan out screaming Eric.
oh
Yeah.
Being a crack inside.
that was because the thing that's what he does, and that he loves that stuff, and he's working so hard on developing that scream, and I knew that he could have done it, and if he passed that offer up, I mean, even just to share the stage with Behind the Grey that day was a privilege of its own, but I didn't think he would be able to outdo it.
There's been a lot of people that have tried in multiple states, like people like, I can do that, And he's legitimate. I'm going to say probably the first out of maybe 20 or 30 people to ever do that.
wow.
God.
And
So that's something.
he's the last to,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
Yeah, but I mean, at least we went out with the bang. That show was absolutely flawless, hands down. The sound from that Behind the Grey brought, and just all the work that we'll put into it with the sound, giving us that privilege to start our first show for such a great band and for such great people. But that was definitely one of the most memorable moments. It really impressed a lot of people that day. It really showed what 10 Stories is about, and making a really good image for both bands, Behind the Grey and 10 Stories, and for everyone else that has played with us that night. We also have we have ton of stuff. They're just little moments, but like even
Nothing really stupid.
no,
shit we're
not
talking
yet.
about.
We haven't gotten to that point.
Well,
but
now, see, that's always the follow-up question. Do you have any Spinal Tap moments you want to share with us?
Oh god, there's been so many of them. It's just like
So many. You're only
so many stupid things that happen, and
it's awesome though.
oh yeah, I wouldn't take it back.
We have a running problem with the toilet clogging at the studio that we're at.
Oh no!
So now we have our own plunger there with a
Yeah.
sticker on it.
We had to go out to the dolly store across the street from the studio and actually buy our own plunger because they didn't have one there, and
It was that bad. Yeah, I mean that's a running joke. That's the running joke for this section of June. But I mean, we've got what's the spinal? What's a really good one?
oh boy,
Man, there's a
bunch of them, but recalling them is the hard part.
I mean,
Well,
I rolled.
That's
A good
fantastic.
story is I'm wearing a brace right now.
Oh
and
yeah, there's one.
2 days before we went into the studio, a day before we played our show at the other side with
Prop Point.
Drip
Point.
Point. I'm sorry, those guys are also awesome.
Yes.
But I was stuck on a brace, and Ryan came into my house, and there's crutches next to me, and he started screaming. He's like, "Oh my god!" He's like, "What do I do?" But luckily we were able to pull that through. I actually had to record the album on this bum foot, but it came out just flawless. But that was a scared the shit out of everybody.
Yeah, that was
something.
interesting.
I mean, there's so I could talk. That would be a separate show if we had to talk about all this stuff, stupid shit. But definitely, if you get the chance to find us, you won't
Sure,
be.
Mike has this here.
I'm usually that guy.
Yeah.
I'm always the one guaranteed to do the dumb
Yeah.
things.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's it keeps everyone on their toes. That's a definite. I mean, Carl's a lively kind of guy, but
Oh, what about we were just about to play a show and we looked like a bunch of delinquents. I'm telling you,
Carl shows up with sandals.
But yeah, we call him Mandals. He just came back from a Sears blowout sale, and he's wearing his mandals. He calls them. They're sandals for men. But we were literally about to play the show, and Ryan's wearing just this giant bed sheet of a shirt, and I'm like, we look like a group of misfits. Like we're gonna look like idiots on stage.
Hey, we still did it, but
yeah, true.
It was. I mean, it's just the small stuff like that. But I mean, we could go on forever and talk about that.
Oh
but
yeah.
I won't waste your time, honestly.
No, you're getting
Get to know us. I'll tell you. You'll find out sooner or later the stuff we do is.
Oh yeah.
Billy's still finding out things about us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always learning, man.
True.
Always learning.
No, these are the best, man. These are the best stories. I've heard a shitload of stories over the years, and that ranks up there, man. That ranks up there.
Yeah.
The clogged toilets.
Another thing we did, Ryan had a bag of Cheetos, and this one, John kept...
That's a running joke, too.
He put about 20 ketchup packets in his bag of Cheetos, and Ryan goes to reach in for them and just pulls out a handful of ketchup packets, and he's been paranoid about it ever since. So the other day, I asked him for a couple Cheetos, and so I'm eating them while we're in the studio. And I go, good job today, bud. And I wipe the Cheeto dust on his shoulder. And he goes, what did you do? And I go, nothing. And he grabs the Cheeto bag. And he's freaking out because he thinks there's ketchup in it. And he's walking around with a giant cheese ball on his shoulder. And it's so funny.
Well, it's stuff like that because I just do it on purpose to instigate, of course. And it's basically just pulling a psychological, just screwing with them, like totally messing with his head the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And this kid literally thinks like someone's after him just because of a few ketchup packets. So it's quite the enjoyable experience when you're in there. But I mean, we're just a bunch of kids just dicking around having fun. And,
The toy bat.
yeah,
You remember that one?
we taped a toy bat to his car on the first day of the studio.
Next time you see Dan, ask him about bats.
Bats.
Oh no.
I don't know if that's a good
I
thing.
feel like
or
that's a
bad.
really good story.
It's a hilarious story to the point where we actually went to the store. We found one of those hats that had bat wings, and it came with a little thing, and it actually the wings flapped when you squeezed it.
Oh yeah.
Actually, it was. I don't know if you guys saw the DVD, the making of the CD.
Oh yeah, watch that. Yeah, I think he wore it, didn't he?
Yeah, at one point they cut the majority of it out, but there were like 6 questions that were asked that he had that on, and he was like, maneuvering around. At one point, he like ran through somebody else's interview with it.
Oh my god.
Like you just see Dan's face, and, like
This is bad.
the wings go up, and they're flapping, and then he just goes the opposite way.
I'll have to ask him, man. Dan's a
interesting.
character, man. He's something
Oh
else.
yeah. He's a cool guy.
He's a person of its own. 1 in a million, man.
So, guys, now, would you say you guys have evolved or tightened up from the EP to the making of the new CD?
Definitely.
God.
100%.
Yeah, the stuff that we're writing now is absolutely. We took the time. It didn't take 15 hours to do it. We actually
That's
took the
another
time and sat down and worked every single hit out on the drums. We composed it and just wrote it so it's just perfectly fitting and perfectly flowed. And it's just it brought us together as a band closer than ever. Because now we know how each other works. Now we really know the true potential of each other. We know our focus, and we know exactly we've got the same goal. It's just to make others happy, man.
Yeah, our first
For
EP,
the music.
it was crazy because we wrote that in probably like 2 hours together, that
Yeah.
whole thing,
It
and
was
then
just
went into the
scrapped
studio and
together.
recorded the whole thing in 16 hours or less. So I mean,
Well,
it
we
was
spent
just,
the whole day at Joe
Yeah.
office once again. Shout out to him working his ass off with us, but he spent 15 hours with us
Yeah.
on lockdown in that basement, in that studio, and recorded that EP that you guys are hearing today. And that was just 15 hours. Now we have days upon days scheduled out, taking the time, really making sure that this is something worth listening to, because that's just what 10 Stories is about, man. Just
definitely.
when you listen to it, you'll definitely know. And it's definitely going to pack a punch. It'll just be the kick-ass album, man. I can't wait. We do have some of our new stuff here, but we don't have any vocals.
Yeah.
That's why I wanted to give it to Mike. I wanted to give it to you guys, but we don't have it ready yet, and I apologize.
I'll tell you what. When you guys are ready, when you release the CD, we'll have you back.
Oh my
Oh,
god,
sweet.
that would
Thank you
be
very much.
that would be
great.
absolutely amazing. Seriously, that'd be the coolest. Thank you.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, let's play another tune. How about Dying World?
Dying World.
Oh, that's a good one.
Tell us about it.
That was actually the first song I wrote when, we started jamming together, because Ryan and I had been working at a local diner for months, and, we noticed that we had a lot of the same musical influences, and we were listening to a lot of Tremonti at the time, and so I wrote Dying World after he really turned me on to Tremonti's new album, and we were just jamming on it at talent show practice and stuff. And he's like, we should really work this into a song. And I'm like, all right. So I brought it to the table with John, and John immediately starts improvising drums behind it and really starts packing the punch behind it. And it just sounded great once everything came together.
It's just a flow-good song. It's just a great song to jam to. It was just one of those ones that we just knew that it would definitely make a good imprint for getting our name out there on the CP and really getting a good ear for music on it. I mean, it's just a good-ass song. It's just fun. And that's where it all started. I mean, it's just that small stuff like that. That was at talent show practice. I wasn't even involved in the writing process of that until I wrote the lyrics. And the lyrics were just, I had a dream, and it was just like, it was almost as if it were just a time lapse, and I was just imagining just watching the world die over the seasons, after season, just everything just dilapidating, just falling apart. So I thought I'd just put that in the words, and I'm sure everyone else or somebody out there's probably had a dream like that or something. But hell, it was one heck of a dream, but it was definitely worth writing about, and I just hope you guys would like to listen to it.
Cool. All right, gang, check it out. Dying World from 10 Stories. We'll be right back. Gang. We're back with John, Mark, and Mike from Behind the Grave. John, Mark, 10 stories, not 11 stories.
Technically,
I'm
it's
gonna
4
keep busting
stories
my
because
own
we got
ass about
2/5
that.
of them here.
You're not the only one, man. That's all right.
I swear to God, it was like that fast. They were talking, and I wrote it down. 11 stories. What the fuck?
No,
Will
it doesn't
corrected
fall.
me, so it's
Yeah.
all good.
It's all good, man. Yeah.
You got it this week. That's all that matters.
Yeah, right.
Within a week's time, you learn the band name and you have them here.
Yeah,
well,
there you
hey,
go.
I'm doing good.
Lo and behold.
Oh, God.
Stay away from that Russian vodka.
That's it, man. That's it. Oh, dude, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. I got that up on YouTube. If you,
YouTube is I can't say that there's probably not video somewhere,
Oh yes.
but I hate YouTube because
It's just too
it's
much.
Vegas isn't Vegas anymore.
Oh, no.
no.
If it happens anywhere, it's probably on YouTube.
That's true.
Guys, so now your new band, labels. Are you looking at this point, or
Oh, absolutely.
We've
been
been
sending
trying
our
to get in
just
contact.
even if it's worth a shot, man. Any little opportunities we're taking, we're just going for it. We've sent it out to a bunch of different people. We use Music X-Ray survey some of our stuff to get us out to that certain reach, and we've gotten flawless reviews. We really it definitely set the bar for us, both musically and just personally, because we didn't think we'd get such a decent response out of it. And now since we're writing this new album, we've set the bar with that EP that everyone's hopefully enjoying as much as we are. And we just really set the bar high, and we just hope to meet those highest expectations. And we're just sending, like I said though, but with labels and everything, we're still starting them. But I mean, hey, anyone that ever wants to contact us, please
Yeah,
don't
definitely.
hesitate.
Maybe
Yeah,
we'll talk.
yeah,
I have forewarnings about those things.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's the fine print, but
Yeah.
it is.
It's there.
Yeah.
There's always fine print.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But
You,
I mean,
you can do everything yourself anymore.
oh yeah.
All you need is a bank.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's
you're not
all.
kidding.
That's all a label is. And guess what? No matter what they pay you, if you don't sell it, you still owe it to them.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And they will take your car. They will take everything you own to get their money back.
Oh yeah.
So
There was a documentary on 30 Seconds to Mars that Carl got me into. That's unbelievable. $30 million. They were sued just because they weren't putting out an album, and I that really opened up my eyes and made me second guess it for a minute. But you know what? I was like, even if it doesn't get to that point, it's worth the experience. I think that not a lot of people get the chance to go and see different places and see the world and play their favorite instrument with their best friends, and that's just an experience that I'm looking forward to. But of course, if that ever gets to that point, we know exactly who to look forward
Right.
to asking their true advice, and their advice is as good as gold, and it will take all the input we can before we make a final decision on that. But
trust me, it's if you're looking to owe money, you're better off finding a family member or somebody that will loan it to you, because you know any tour anymore is going to cost you money to get on, because you're not going to be a headlining band unless you somehow
Work your
blow
way
up.
up.
Yeah, you're not going to blow up right off the bat. You know, you're not going to be Breaking Ben
Yeah.
and making $600,000 a show.
it's unbelievable.
That's insane.
Yeah, we try to open for those kinds of bands too, even though they're like mostly pay and plays, and
But it has to be worth it, though.
yeah, that's what
See,
I'm saying.
now, like I can give you numbers on a couple different shows. Now, last year, it was Breaking Ben and Seven Dust up at Montage.
It's a good group.
And
Oh yeah, we were there.
for
We gave him an EP.
to play that show as like an opening buy-on, it would have cost you $1,500 cash right up front. But Was it a sellout show? Pretty sure it was.
Yeah,
I went for Seven Dust and then I left because I was part of the music conference, so I had to be back to the conference last year.
Yeah.
But you figure, even if there's 2,000 people there, I don't know the capacity, whatever,
Oh yeah.
because it's ridiculously big.
Yeah.
But, you know, okay, you pay $1,500 up front. Okay, are you going to sell that much merch?
Mhm.
Because you can make that money back. You know, you got to hustle and you got to do your thing. No, the last Seven Dust tour that I think just finished up. It was the one that they just did for their new CD.
Oh,
It was them, Trivium, and Like a Storm.
We were trying to open
we
up
were
for
trying
them
to
at the
open for them
Reverb,
too,
right?
yeah.
You should have contacted me before that.
Damn
You didn't want to open that.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
we
we
got
didn't
in
get
touch
to
with the
anyway,
guys
so.
like this.
You would have had to sell 50 to 100 tickets, and you would have played 3 hours before the actual doors to the venue opened.
Wow.
And you wouldn't have been able to use your equipment. You had to use their equipment for everything.
Yikes.
Whereas if you were to happen to try to buy onto one of those shows, I think it would have cost you $700, and you would have played the main stage
That's something.
with the right contacts.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just things like that.
It's
You have to watch the venue, because then there's other times like that. I can assure you that Seven Dust had no clue, and Seven Dust management had no clue that Reverb had bands playing from 2 p.m. until 6 p.m. selling all those tickets.
Yeah. It's,
I mean, it was a sellout show either way. You couldn't get tickets unless, you know.
Right.
But regardless, you know,
mhm.
no band that sold tickets that day played on the same stage with any of those bands.
Wow.
You played, like, the inside doors were locked. You couldn't get inside to do anything. Like, you were outside in a back on, like, a patio.
Oh, wow.
And, you know, okay, granted, yes, there were a lot of people there because people were there.
Previously.
You know,
Yeah. Like,
and granted, yes, the local bands all did their job and sold their tickets. But you know, before that, you know, there was no guarantee that the band was even going to be there to potentially maybe hear you.
True.
Like, their load-in might have been 3 o'clock and you're playing at 3 o'clock. Great. So the chances of their guys loading all their equipment up on stage to try to do a sound check while you're outside playing, because people outside are going to hear them sound checking in there. You know, there was no guarantee of it being, you know, more than you just playing outside for maybe 20 minutes,
oh my gosh.
you know, and I think it was $25 a ticket.
Shit.
So you figure $2,500
Yeah.
for the tickets, or as
Or
if you,
even sell that much, too.
yeah, I mean, and that was a requirement. You had to sell that
Oh,
many
yeah.
tickets, or you don't play.
Yeah.
Like there's
Stuff like that, man. But see, that's why Mike and Behind the Gray, they do such a good job at warning us, because we, of course, as those young and
it's
eager
not
musicians.
even just you. You know, there's a lot of
there's tons, I'm sure.
and there's a lot of people that are for and against pay to play. However, I look at that situation as I've done it before, but I also feel that, you know, if you feel like you should be playing a show, you know, say, we'll use that Seven Dust one as a reference. You know, if they were like, oh, can you bring us 100 heads for this show and you can play the main stage? If you have to be worried about potentially buying any tickets on that show, you shouldn't be playing that show.
Yeah.
You know, if you have that opportunity, you make it happen. Like, there's been times I sold 70 tickets on a Tuesday for a Tuesday night show.
Wow.
On no national headliner. It was just some band that was on the road from California or Arizona, and it was, you know, well, they were running on some thing. I'm not even going to mention it because I don't feel that they deserve the name coming out of my mouth. But it was like, oh, well, if you have to sell 15 tickets, and then everything after that, the money's yours. You know, okay, cool. So you essentially, you know, are doing this for them, and you're just bringing in people for them. So, all right, 15 tickets, I'll do that myself in 20 minutes, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long for me to, you know, bounce out. But then it's like, okay, well, it's a Tuesday night. Yeah. Okay, where's it at? All right, you know. Okay, but if you do it right, and like that was potentially I mean, for us, it was a huge night because you figure, I don't even remember how, I think the tickets might have been 10. So after the first 15, every dollar from every ticket was ours.
Oh,
Wow.
So 55 tickets at $10 a pop
Yeah.
was just cash.
right there.
That's
You know,
400
that
bucks.
was our pay for the night.
Wow.
So, you know, did I have to worry about 15 tickets? No. You know, if a venue came to me and was like, hey, you know, we have this ridiculously big show, you know, whatever, Seven Dust, Taproot, whatever, I don't care. You know, but, you know, do you guys think you guys can sell 100 tickets? I think I can.
Yeah.
I'm like, but it's also 5 people in a band.
Yeah.
So, okay, 100 tickets, 20 per person. You know, okay, sometimes people might not be able to do that. Do I know that, you know, if there was a potential Sherman Theater show on a Saturday, that, you know, would I be able to get 20 people to go to that show? Of course, I know I can.
Yeah.
Because we have a great fan base, and the fact that you're getting to play somewhere like that, you put in the work, you know.
Oh, yeah,
you do what you have to do. Like, you meet up with people, you do the running. Like, you make it convenient for the people.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's a lot. One thing a lot of bands and people don't realize, like,
Oh, yeah. Well, you gotta. They're the ones coming out, you know.
yeah,
exactly.
I mean, you make it as convenient for them. Like, even to the point of, like, when we released our initial EP with Eric, like, I was chasing people down at venues. Like,
Yeah.
I'd get there, and back when the factory was open, I think he was the sound guy, James. He was one of the booking guys, too.
Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
like, you know, I want a CD. He's like, but I can't get you right now. Like, I'm busy, you know. But, you know, find me again throughout the night. I chased that dude around for 3 hours. And finally, at the end of the night, he was like, you're persistent. I'm like, you said you wanted a CD. You're going to pay me for this CD right now.
Yeah.
I'm like, and if you don't, I'm going to follow you home. And then you're going to give me $5 for a CD. Like, you also have to know your boundaries, though, too.
Yeah.
You know, him, I knew if I jokingly said
Push
something like
him,
that, you
yeah.
know, okay, you know, some people like persistence, some people don't, you know.
Yeah.
You kind of have to know what you're dealing with and who you're dealing with and work accordingly.
Right. But then, now, with the pay to play, there's a national project that goes from city to city, and they basically put on a battle of the bands. And they'll get, what would you say, 5, 6 local groups?
It's between 5 and 10, actually.
Yeah, okay. Now, this is where I don't like the pay to play. You get 5 to 10 local bands, and I guess the agreement is they have to sell the tickets to be on the show.
Yeah, it's 15 tickets per band, and then whatever after is yours.
Right.
But you also are putting all of these same bands that play together constantly that all have the same fan base.
So how are you supposed to sell? You know what I mean?
You have to be super persistent, chase people down, and you have to sell tickets to people before the other guy does.
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, that's pretty much what I did for that show in particular. I legitimately...
You gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yeah, I mean...
That's where I'm not, you know, I'm kind of iffy about
You know what? The one we did was stacked. It was us, Curse of Sorrow, Cause of Affliction, Threat Point, and a couple others. So, I mean, it was bands that we always played with, you know, all of our friends' bands, you know. It was just like, all right, well, who am I going to get to before they can get to, and you know, to the point where I rigged that pretty well, especially towards the end, because there were people that didn't have tickets that I had texting me, and I was meeting them outside with tickets. If the promoter was watching me, I was like, he has a ticket. He paid me already. I'm just giving it to him. You know, they didn't watch it as much as
Yeah.
but it's things like that. Like, oh, you do, you know, 3-4 bands. You don't do 10 bands. Like
No, no.
You're digging and hoping, and then you're hoping that the band, this, you know, sponsored band, is, you know, paid attention to by anybody who, you know, came out to said
Right.
show. I mean,
Right.
I know the one we did, you know, that band was put between us and the Curse of Sorrow. I was like, you were smart where you put the bands, you know, and how you booked it, but,
Not by how you
you know,
organize.
you put a metal band and then an industrial band, which, you know, it was a lot different. Our, you know, not necessarily what our people dig.
Right.
And then the Curse of Sorrow, who we always play with, you know, we share a bassist now.
Right.
You know,
right.
at that point, you know, we didn't. You know, they were still good friends. We always did shows with them. You know, their fan base knew us, our fan base knew them, and then there's just this other band in the middle. Like, you know, what do we
Right.
do? What do we do here? Like,
Yeah.
do we go to the bar and have a couple drinks? You know?
Yeah. But that's the stuff like that we go to them for, and like I said 10 trillion times, you'll hear me say it again. We're thankful for it. It's that
Not a
kind of
problem.
expertise and input that counts, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Even Billy knows some of this. You know, Billy's aware.
He knows the stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
He sees and hears.
The local politics.
Yeah.
To put it nicely.
It is what it is, you know. There's no way around it. You're not gonna,
Yeah, can't avoid it.
you know.
Right.
The fact that he's out and he's in the scene shows that he's doing what he should be doing.
Yeah.
True.
You know, I can't say that about, you know, most other.
Rockstar DJs.
Yeah, you know, it is what it is, and you just kind of have to roll with what it is. And if you get lucky, great. If not, you bust your ass until you get lucky.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
I will never ever tell anybody ever that doing this is easy, especially if you plan on doing it, you know, as a job. You know, it's a second or third job to some of us. You know,
Yeah.
on top of a regular job and practice. I think I average maybe 4 hours of sleep a night between work and practice and everything else that I have going on. You know, it's work. Like, but you know what? When it comes to getting on stage at a show, you know, I dreaded the benefit. Like, I was so excited to play the benefit this weekend, but I also dreaded it. And, you know, my best friend was like, you're dreading it right now, but as soon as you get up there and you start playing, nothing in the last month and a half that you dreaded is going to matter.
Yeah.
Like, you're just going to go up there and you're going to play, and whether it's a 2-hour set, a 45-minute set, a half-hour set, it's freedom. You know, you're doing your thing. It's my happy place. You know?
Right. No, I hear you, man. I hear you.
Oh, being on stage is like a drug.
This is my passion.
Yeah. I mean,
Unfortunately, my passion doesn't pay the bills.
except, you know what? That's why we do what we do. You know?
That's it.
And a lot of people just think, you know, oh, we're going to get signed, we're going to do this, and you're not.
Not that
Yeah,
simple.
it's not like that.
There is no big money deals, and even if there was,
Nah.
you still owe it back.
No.
You know, you have to basically hope you have a friend that has some money that's willing to, you know, donate and, like, help you out, and you can pay them back whenever. But if you're not essentially killing yourself in the process of trying to do it, you're not doing it right.
Right.
You know, you're not going to get lucky. Because even if you do, by some chance, you know, play one show every 2 months, 3 months, whatever, and you get a break, cool. But just remember, if you have to go on tour, you're playing anywhere between 4 and 7 days a week.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Real time now.
and that's okay. A venue load-in time for a venue might be 2 or 3 p.m. You might not play till 11 p.m. What do you do for 9 hours?
Right.
Well, you load in, and then you figure out something to do for a while. Try not to get yourself in trouble. Go do radio interviews. Do anything you can.
Right.
To help promote that show. Walk around, pass out flyers.
It's all that matters.
Nothing is easy in this business at all. Anybody who says it is lying.
Right.
There's no need to sugarcoat it. But if it's what you're passionate about, that's what you need to do. And I would do it, 7 days a week, 365 days a year.
Oh, hell yeah.
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 The moment somebody says, "Hey, you can go on the road and you can be home maybe a week this month, and in a couple of months maybe, you'll have another week or two home." Cool, that's great. Let's do it, because that's my life. It's my passion. If you could tour the world and still do this every single day, this being your job and not having to worry about anything else. Yes, it's your dream, but no, you're also going to have to put a shit ton of work in the process. It's not all parties. It's not all, you don't have people, worrying about where you're at, what you're doing. Like, you put in the work, and if you do have somebody telling you where you need to be, you're paying another person.
Right.
You're paying a tour manager. You're paying this. And there's not enough money out there to break even anymore to have to worry about okay, let's hope that this person makes sure we get all the right information. You can get that information yourself and know where you need to be. And I know personally, I'm early for everything. I'm usually an hour early for everything. If I'm not early, something tragic has happened, or But yeah, it's
brutal.
It's brutal.
Yeah.
But if you love it,
Yeah, man. Yeah.
you're gonna do it.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Guys, how about another song?
Absolutely.
On You Go.
On you go.
Tell us about it.
Well, that's definitely our most popular one. 97.9X, a bunch of support from the local stations like to play that song,
That's cool.
especially with locals only. On You Go was another oldie that we previously, Ryan had as a B-side from our earlier projects, and when that was the song that really put us out there, it was the song that really showed people that 10 Stories was an actual thing now, and this is going to get where it is today. But On You Go was written for the people that they just it's about the people that how do I
Come in and out of your life.
yeah, it's just like, and it's trading for the material things in life for temporary happiness, and abandoning that previous that support you've had. The lyrics says, "You once called your home. Your home is where you came from." Abandoning yourself in the process and basically losing it as you go along for those small material items. And it's for those people, because I wrote the lyrics for that because I just knew that those people are out there somewhere, and that there's a way back,
Right.
And that's really the gist of that song. And that one's just another punch you in the face 10-story song. And I mean, there's nothing special to it. It's just a good tune, and I hope that you guys enjoy it as much as we do when you guys listen to it. Definitely check us out, like I said, on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. SoundCloud is where the EP's at, where you guys are listening to today. And thanks again for everything. Absolutely.
All right, gang. Check it out.
on You Go From 10 Stories. We'll be right back. right, gang, we're back with John and Mark. I had to look at my cheat sheets.
Yeah.
Baby
Almost all
memory.
day.
Of 11 stories.
Yeah.
11 stories. 11 stories.
10.
I swear to God, I got it written down here. Here. Right there.
Yeah.
And I had to cross out the, I was trying to zero over the one.
Yeah. Well, we got it right now.
Yeah.
Christ.
It's all good, man.
Don't get old.
Well, the running joke of last week, we'll just blame Steve's bong hits.
Yeah. There it is.
Guys, plug away. Sites, what do you got?
Well, like we said, we check out our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Our EP is on SoundCloud, totally free for listening purposes. Feel free to check that stuff out. It's really easy to find. Link will be provided. And we do have a show coming up at the Northeast Fair in Pittston on Wednesday, next Wednesday coming up, playing with some awesome local bands for the 97.9X Music Showcase. And we're definitely looking forward to see some people out there. Hopefully, if our listeners that are across the way there, if we have a live video, please try and tune in, follow us on our page, and you'll definitely get those updates for that. And we also have an awesome event that we just put out yesterday, coming up July 1st, back at the other side again, with some awesome bands, Strength and Allies, E57, and a solo artist, Chris Cashmere, and a new band debuting called Brother. But that's going to be a great time. Hopefully you guys will come out. Let's, again, stay updated on our social media. And just keep on listening, man. Just keep it metal.
Yeah, we appreciate all the support we can get.
Absolutely. And thank you for tuning in today. Thank you for listening, for everything. Thank you for being you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Cool. Mike, behind the gray, man, what's...
Oh, let's see. BehindTheGrayMusic.com. Facebook, MySpace, Twitter, Snapchat, any possible human social media thing. We're
Reverb
on,
Nation,
yeah,
all that.
Yeah, we're on everything. I got bored at work one night and made everything happen. 4:30 in the morning, I'm like, let's make a Snapchat.
There you go.
Yeah.
Stay tuned. We got a huge update coming Monday that y'all are gonna enjoy, and with circumstances, but definitely I know I'm excited as shit about the announcement on Monday. I know you guys will be too.
Absolutely.
I mean, I'll give you guys a little bit of insight before we leave today, but
Sweet.
there will be a big announcement on all of our social media pages on Monday. Shows that'll probably be updated soon.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
You just have to pay attention, and you'll see from there. Make sure you check these guys out on Facebook and all that fun shit. Go see them play.
It's a good time.
They put on a killer show.
Thank you very much.
All the cool kids are doing it.
Yeah.
Just anytime Mark is doing a guitar solo, don't be standing in front of the stage because his mom might tackle you. I've seen that happen. Maybe twice. She's awesome though.
Yeah.
So
Shout out for her. Absolutely.
Yeah. Props to mom.
Yeah.
My mom's at almost every one of our shows too. A lot of
really?
people know that. My mom's a crazy biker chick, and she shows up with all the. My mom showed up drunk to the benefit the other day.
Oh God.
She had 2 weddings.
Oh my God.
She got there. I'm like, you've been going since 1 o'clock. She's like, yep.
Party
I'm
animal.
like, it's like 10 o'clock right now. She's like, haven't stopped yet.
Don't plan on it.
Continue.
Cool.
Yeah, but just like we said, stay updated. And then, as I said, we are 10 stories. 2/5 of 10 stories.
4 stories.
No, yeah, 4 stories together.
Not 11
today.
stories.
Yeah, not 11 stories, 10 stories. And to stay updated, we've got an album coming out for you guys soon, and we would love to hear you guys listen to it.
Awesome. And guys, thank you everybody for hanging out tonight. Mike, Mark, John, thank you guys.
It's a pleasure.
It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thanks.
I had a great time.
Thanks.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
So, I was telling you a little bit during the song there that I played this song from Blue Felix, band out in Minnesota. The tune's called Middle Finger Up. And every week we dedicate the finger to something or someone that has pissed us off that week. And I want you guys to partake in this little ritual with
Absolutely.
me. So
Sure.
I think I'm going to let Mike go first because I think Mike's got a good one here.
All right. So mine goes out to people who try to start drama and bullshit over something that they shouldn't be worried about in the first place, and go well out of their way only to be proven completely wrong in the process. But basically, do everything in their power to try to make something positive into the worst negative thing possible. And then it backfires, so you get the finger anyways, but,
Yeah. No figure to that.
yeah, definitely a little finger on that one.
Mark.
I mean, I really don't get mad at too much, so, but after hearing Mike's story and knowing what all that's behind that, I definitely donate my middle finger straight to that cause, because that just made me angry.
Absolutely. And I could pitch in here by also donating my left hand for that. But for my right hand is out to the ones that'll underestimate people by their age, that'll doubt people just because they're younger, because they're smaller than them. Especially those, because somewhere out there you were at that point at one time, and you know what? It's not worth the judge, and you know what? No one's perfect, so be who you are. So it's a middle finger for that.
Cool. And I got a couple this week.
I'm always intrigued for these.
I got I'm gonna have to
Let him roll, baby.
my octopus arms here.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna toss one for you there, Mike. Your story there. There's a middle finger there. Rockstar DJs. We talked on and off a little bit about that tonight.
Yep.
I hate rockstar DJs. I hope to God I don't come across as one. That pisses me off. So middle finger to rockstar DJs, and another middle finger to ISIS, the terrorism, the whole shit that happened in Orlando, man. I always say, I don't give a shit if you're gay, straight, bi, black, white, Muslim, Christian, atheist. You treat me like a human, I'm going to treat you like a human.
That's what it should be.
That's, it can't get any simpler than that, So,
Yeah.
middle finger to anybody who thinks different,
Absolutely. No, for real.
I mean, you really can't, you treat me with respect, and I'll treat you with that same respect.
Exactly.
It's what more can you ask? You can't.
It's give and take, If you treat me like a dick, I'm guaranteed to treat you like a dick. If you show me the utmost respect, I'm going to do everything in my power to show you the utmost respect. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't. A lot of people think that they're deserving of the respect, but don't hand it back out.
Mm-hmm.
And the moment you find somebody like that is the moment you get rid of that person, because they're toxic. They'll bring you down. They'll just they can make anything positive just awful. It's not worth it.
Absolutely, man. And just from 10 stories from I'm sure Behind the Grave from Keep It Metal. I speak for myself, of course. I think I'm off the air. Oh, just keeping the people of Orlando, keeping these peoples of these attacks, these victims, their families, thoughts and prayers, of course. It's truly a tragedy to see this happen, and hopefully one day we could stand together and fight against this without fear and through love. And that's that, man.
Cool. Well, guys, again, thank you, Mike, Mark, John.
thank you.
Guys. It's been
Thanks,
awesome.
Bill.
Guys, I will be back next week as always. I got some Blue Felix for you, but for now, be safe, stay well, keep it metal. Blue Felix, middle finger up. See ya.
Just like 13 bucks of blue feelings about to come fuck shit up with the motherfucking can't feel what's to conceal. But kill slowly, the innocent of balls that can never fucking hold me. I ain't got no time for the motherfucking city cats trying to set me up, cause I'm a motherfucking maniac and anger is a gift. I will stop till I'm done with the blue relax on the tip of the tongue. We'll break supreme. The goddamn kings from the bottom